it really should be more obvious to all of us now that the cabal controlled uniparty, that being Democrat and Republican, really are two sides of the same coin, and that it's not about left versus right. It's about right and wrong, and it's about them, the cabal, against all of us. That is very obvious, and the Republican and the Democratic Party are nowhere near what they used to be decades ago. And they've been hijacked by the same cabal that controls the media, and largely a bunch of war profiteers that harm innocent civilians around the world for decades. And it doesn't matter which party is in power. We should all know that by now. And so, what do we need to do? Well, we need to recognize that independent thinking is more objective and more accurate. And I mentioned that on my Twitter page a couple years back. Right here, the latest was a Gallup poll that was in 2023 in August. 49% are now Americans see themselves as independents. In this graphic, that was a year before it, it got as high as 40% before the Gallup poll. So you're not going to know that, and you're not going to be told that in the controlled media. And so after this recent election, I would bet it's closer to 2 out of 3. So things obviously aren't going to change. The uniparty, the two-party system, does not represent the people's interest whatsoever. They represent the oligarchs, and basically, it's been compromised. Special interest, APAC, we all know this now. And so, what can we do? Well, we could recognize that the 3Ds, the 4Ds actually, they deceive us, divide us, distract us, and disconnect us. And that is clear. I've talked to many people that are arguing with their families. So divide and conquer. They're dividing more than ever before. And I would argue that three things that as we approach the end of our life that we're going to look back and wish we did more about. That is having better relationships with our family, and having more exciting experiences, more travel, and also making an impact, especially an impact that goes, that continues after we're gone. That's what Innovators Academy is going to do, with the idea that there is a big difference between theory and reality, and the most admired and respected word in business worldwide is innovator. And so, Innovators Academy is something that anyone can get behind. There's no bureaucracy, just endless possibilities. We're an open door for collaboration. I'm a co founder of it. I was the host of Innovators Radio. I still have Innovators Radio on Twitter, making all kinds of ahead of the curve predictions, talking about Uni right here, Stop Asian Hate back during the pandemic scam. They were trying to, some of us that divide us, were trying to make it look like it's Asians are bad, and you can see I stood up for Asians back then. Unity starts with you, and so Unity Perks is something that is years in the making. It's never been more relevant and needed. Jeff Bezos gave $200 million to two unifiers in a divisive world. Even though I'm not saying I'm a fan of Jeff Bezos, he is respected among business, and we're going to be putting Unity Perks as rewards for coming together, as the evil have their own club. Like George Carlin said, it's a big club, you're not in it. So you need to ask yourself, what club are you in? What impact are you creating? And are you an independent thinker? Because we're going to unite independence with innovators. Innovators, true innovators, driven by impact, are the antidote to government. Those are the only people that are actually going to solve problems. Obviously now, government is not going to solve any problem. And if you go look at the happiest countries in the world, you're going to see Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Israel. What do they all have in common? Well, they don't spend $1 trillion on the Department of War. And going back to the national debt clock here, we've got 37 trillion. The most alarming thing, I think, is that the interest on the debt, much of that past bogus war spending, unaccountable bogus wars, is now 1 trillion. Yet they want to tell you that Social Security that you paid into is an entitlement. Yeah, right. How about we find out where trillions went in bogus defense spending, harming innocent civilians around the world for decades? That is evil, and the Uniparty is controlled by an evil cabal. That should be obvious now to all of us. So Unity Perks is going to be reaching out to big travel companies, offering exclusive group travel to connect independent, like-minded thinkers together. We've got a matchmaking venture called Preferred Matchmaking and Independence Match, because independents will, date Republicans and Democrats that still are holding on to the theory of yesteryear there. Um, but I can tell you, Democrats aren't going to date Republicans and vice versa. So they will obviously consider an independent. And so there's a need for all kinds of perks, travel, and we're going to trading perks. Profitable traders are going to provide coaching, because nobody knows it all when it comes to the stock market. The stock market's rigged. Professional traders, some of them know. They know the tricks, the head fakes, and I've got on Twitter plenty of credibility, including telling people to short Match.com at 183, went all the way down to 30. We're at a top in the market right now, so that's going to be important as well. So on the phone, you can talk to somebody that can help patch things up with your family. A true informed independent is fully capable of patching things up. If somebody in the family is uninformed and they're not going to listen to you, put us on the phone. I've got some very wise friends that are willing to do that. I also have a brother who's a professional trader. He's profitable. He and others that I found are willing to provide trader tips and coaching, which is essential when you are trading in this market. There is a way through futures, micro futures, to make as much as 12,000 a week or month, but you got to do everything right, and you got to know that the markets are rigged. You got to have patience. You got to have the right rules, and you got to follow them. So some of the perks will be initially over the phone. For those that want to stay on track and say no thanks to the sickness for profit industry, talk to somebody about getting motivated to stick with fasting. That's one of the better ways to not be reliant on the system. And again, getting back to the happiest countries, they have their health care provided. And why? Because they get something for the taxes they pay. They don't pay $1 trillion for a Department of War.